information. Let's get started. As usual, tonight is no different. We have a program director, or what we at Toastmasters have coined our Toastmaster of the Day. In Setswana, it's simply the Motsamaisa Tiro, or the Master of Ceremonies. Our Master of Ceremonies, or our Toastmaster of the evening tonight, is Toastmaster Rethabile Lala, as she's affectionately known, Siiso. When asked to introduce herself, Rethabile says that she's a geoscientist. She's currently practicing as an engineer in Jwaneng. She monitors the plant, the pit, waste pumps, and even slurry dams. I know, quite the technical jargon. She has been a Toastmaster for the past 5 years and has even served as the secretary of this here club, Gaborone Toastmasters Club. In her spare time, she swims, she listens to audiobooks, she watches and plays soccer, and does a lot of other interesting volunteerism roles rather. She's currently holding or is the manager of that departmental soccer team. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Rethabile Seiso. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our fellow guests. Tonight, I'll be the MC of the day. One of the things that I've learned at work and even at church, there's a saying, and as part of our moral or our values that drives us as Debswana, there is three of them that resonates well with being a Toastmaster. One of them is be passionate. The second one is show we care. The third one is pull together. Every time you hear that today is a speakathon, 10 people who are passionate about that development are speaking today. And we are here as members of Toastmasters Club because we care about being a member and we care about our members. And we are here to pull it together to ensure that this club of Gaborone Toastmasters is a distinguished club. And we pull together to ensure that every member satisfies their goal and their objectives. And today I have a team that will be pulling together this meeting to ensure it's a success. Before I go there in calling who will be helping me with this meeting, I would like us to have a toast of the day. Leah, would you like to help us with that toast of the day before I call on the team who will be helping me with this session today? Leah?
Hello. Yes, I was actually looking for her background.
Hi.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. So I'd like to invite you all to grab a glass or some juice or whatever it is that you fancy, as I will be sharing the toast of the day. And as stated by our Toastmaster of the day, the theme of our meeting today is the power of storytelling. Every great leader, every inspiring movement, every unforgettable moment has one thing in common: a powerful story. Stories have the ability to captivate, to inspire, to transform. They can bridge cultures, generations, and distances. They can invoke emotions, spark imagination, and drive action. And we all know that in Toastmasters, whenever someone is presenting a speech, we're able to remember it longer when we hear their personal stories. So as we gather today to continue in our own public speaking skills, as we'll be hearing the stories that will be shared, I'd like to encourage you all to continue sharing your own story as a way to captivate and motivate others. You might be surprised at whose life you can change. I remember attending one Toastmasters meeting once, and I heard someone sharing a story about their weight loss journey, and it inspired me to restart wanting to eat better and even exercise a little bit more. That is the power of stories. They inspire us to move beyond what we sometimes think we can or can't do. So please raise your glass, if you have a glass or a cup, and unmute yourself. Please, yes, you can unmute yourself and repeat after me. The power of storytelling.
The
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 power
power of
storytelling.
storytelling.
All right, cheers.
Yay.
Thank you so much. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Leah. I can't wait for those stories. It's a busy night today. So today I have a team of people, amazing people who will be assisting me with this meeting. The way how Toastmasters meeting are structured, we have, I'd say, two segments. The better speaking segments where members have prepared for these amazing speeches, and this is where now we are going to listen to them while they give us those speeches in terms of the stories that they have for us. And then the next one, better listening. This is evaluation time. They say evaluations, breakfast of champions. This is where now they'll be getting their reports from the evaluators, from the timers, and from our grammarians, from our counter, and we will be getting feedback as a club how we performed today. Now, let's go to the team that will be assisting me today. First of all, timekeeper. Imagine going into a meeting and somebody speaks for the whole day. Now, this is where we get time to learn how to work within that given time. Our timer for today, we have timer for today is Bontle Dixon. Bontle Dixon, welcome to the visual stage. Please let us know how we are going to be managing time today.
Good evening, everybody. And yeah, I do have these colors. So this is our yellow, our green, and this orange is going to be our red because I couldn't find anything red. So this means you're good, still have time. So this, the red, time is up. This, the yellow, means you know, we're almost there. So yeah, keep out for these. I'm going to be using them to communicate with you on how much time you're left with.
Thank you very much. This is where we get to learn to manage our time very well. My next one will be the grammarian. The grammarian for the day is Lillian Andres. Lillian, welcome to the visual stage. Let us know what you have for us tonight. Lillian? It appears we do not have our grammarian on the call today. Can we have a volunteer to assist us with being a grammarian? Any volunteers? Grammarian? Anyone to assist? Fellow Toastmasters? Remember, we need to pull together. I see we have our R counter on the call. Because Lillian is not here, someone might volunteer for that. Let's go to the and R counter. Lebogang Ramothibe. Lebogang, welcome to the visual stage and let us know what you have for us tonight.
Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch and pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll be listening for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for filler sounds, including or I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker has used these expressions. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Lebo. Let's use the word of the day today being the narrative. I don't have a grammarian on the call. Any volunteer for the grammarian? Volunteer, so that we manage our time very well. Any volunteer?
What is a
Okay, go
grammarian?
on.
What
The
is a grammarian?
Okay, the grammarian will be monitoring the use of the English language and to ensure that the word of the day is being used throughout the meeting. Let us encourage us to always use different words and improve our vocabulary. You want to take that up, Buntle?
Since she's the
Yeah,
timer.
I think I'll give it a try.
Oh, okay.
Since she's currently the timer, I just saw someone joining. Kato. Hi, Kato.
Hello.
Yes. We need a grammarian. I wanted to ask if you could take up the role.
I haven't been briefed up on the role, so I really
I will share the script with you via WhatsApp. It's just basically to monitor the use of the English language, but I'll share the stuff with you on WhatsApp.
No, okay, no problem.
Okay. So maybe in the meantime, we can just share what the word of the day is. That Katso will be monitoring. And let me just share the slide for what the word of the day is. And the word of the day today, which we're encouraging all the speakers to use, is narrative. So what does this mean? A spoken or written account of connected events, a story. So how do you use this word in a sentence? You would say a gripping narrative. So all speakers are encouraged to use the word of the day. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Leah, for that, and thank you, Kato, for taking up the role we put together. We also have the Hack Master. Do we have Tapiwa on the call? Tapiwa? Okay, if our Hack Master is not on the call, I hope I'll be able to jump. She is. Okay, wonderful. Tapiwa, welcome to the visual stage and let us know what you have for us tonight, what your role entails.
Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. So the role of a Hackmaster is a very interesting segment in which we will testing our listening skills for all the speakers who will be giving their different speeches. So what I'll be doing, I'll be noting down different questions as per each speaker. Then at my segment time, I'll be asking different questions and expecting all of us to give me answers so as to test our listening skills. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tapia. So we need to be listening attentively so that we are able to get all the questions right. The last role player that we have for tonight is the general evaluator. Our general evaluator for this evening is Palesama Khato. Palesama Khato, welcome to the visual stage and let us know what you'll be having for us tonight, your role. General evaluator.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Perfect. All right, as already alluded, my name is Balisama Kato, and I am your general evaluator this evening. My role is a simple one. I will be conducting the evaluation segment of today's meeting. I will call on the different evaluators to give their feedback to the speakers. And from there, I will give feedback on the meeting in its entirety. I look forward to hearing all the narratives from the speeches today. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Now that will be my team that will be assisting us for flawless running of this meeting. Now let's get to it. For better speaking segment, we have speech lined up. The first speech is a level 1 speech by Ongemezi Mulongwe, and who will be evaluated by Blessing. Blessing, if you are on the call as the evaluator for Ongemezi, welcome to the visual stage so that you can let us know of the speech titles and the purpose of that speech. Do we have evaluator number 1 on the call, Ongemezi?
It doesn't appear that the Blessing is on the call.
Okay, Blessing not on the call. Anyone?
But it's fine. I can evaluate Blessing.
You can. Okay, thank you very much. Go on and read this objectives of the speech.
Yes. So Blessing will be presenting her. Sorry, Onkameti will be presenting her first speech, which is an icebreaker speech. So this is a speech where one is basically introducing themselves to the club. So she would have learned the basics of constructing a speech, the opening, the body, and then the conclusion. So it's a 4 to 6 minute speech. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Leah, for that. Now, Ongemezi is doing an icebreaker. Can you unmute yourself so that we welcome her to this stage? Toastmasters, we pull together.
Wow.
I give you Ongemezi delivering her first speech in Toastmasters. Take it away, Ongemezi.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm going to give a speech about resilience in the midst of hardships. I work as a client experience head, and for me to get to that role, it was not an easy task. I've always made sure that when I do my duties, I make sure that I follow them through. I make sure that I do not give up. Even though I face challenges, I make sure I continue. I have attended for the first time when I joined when I joined the role, I had to face senior corporate leaders. I had to make meetings with senior corporate leaders, including the CEO. So the bulk of the time I will be told, no, this is not what you are supposed to do. Can't you improve this? Can't you at least add another thing to your presentations? or pushbacks on everything that has happened to our clients. And in some days, you would just almost give up. So as a person, my values, since I grew up, I made sure that no matter what hardships come my way, I never give up. This thing started in 1997 when I realized that I am very resilient when I was doing Form 3. I joined the karate team, and it was quite a challenge for me because I am physically challenged when it comes to sport. First assignment, we had to do planks. These planks were really different. I had never experienced them before. You had to be in between two people and you will be suspended in between. The first thing that I did when it was my turn, I slammed right through. Nothing happened. I couldn't even suspend. The following day, we were running, jogging. I had never jogged in my life. Most of the time, my chest would feel like it's breaking apart. Now, the last straw was when I had to fight someone. Blocking was very painful. But one thing that I did in that karate training, I made sure I never gave up. I came back every day, every day. Within a month, I was even perfect in my blocking, in my planks. I could suspend between two people. My word of encouragement is that no matter how hard anything is, you should always be resilient. I could have given up during the time when I slammed through the two people that I was supposed to suspend and do a plank with. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Unkemete, for that speech. Now, going on to our second speaker of the day, do we have Kayale 2 here on the call? Do we have Kayale 2 on the call? I don't see Kayale 2 on the call.
Yeah, he's not on the call.
Okay. All right. Do we have Asalepele? Our third speaker, Asalepele.
No, she doesn't appear to be on the call either.
Okay. Do we have Benjamin Mahodielo? Benjamin, are you there on the call? I don't see Benjamin on the call. Do we have Lame on the call?
Lame sent a message that they have a power cut. She was there before.
Ah, okay. Oh, ish. Then that means the next speaker that we have is Leah. Leah will be evaluated by Palesa Makato. Palesa, welcome to the virtual stage so that you read out can give us the objectives of Leah's speech. Introduce your speaker to the club. Palesa.
Good evening once again. I don't know what's going on with my video. If you will just allow me, may I continue without the video? I will try and troubleshoot.
You can go on.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I have the privilege of evaluating Leah Musunga this evening. Leah Musunga is giving her icebreaker speech. And this speech is for the, I think it is the motivational strategy pathway. And it is her level 1 speech. The title of her speech is Travel Bag by Leah Musunga. The objective of this speaker's speech is to give us an account of who she is, introduce herself to the club. We all know that Leah is an esteemed member of Gaborone Toastmasters. However, for the benefit of new members and guests, this will be an opportunity for you to learn who Leah Musunga is. Leah, I welcome you to the virtual stage.
Take it away, Leah.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. I grew up in a family of 5 children. And when I was younger, our parents would every once in a while take us across the border to South Africa to Mafikeng. Anyone who grew up in Botswana would recall that there was a time families used to go to Mafikeng to do their shopping. I used to find those trips very exciting. And the more we traveled across the border, I realized I enjoyed traveling. And that's how I got the travel bug. So even at the end of the year, when my family and I would go back to Zambia to visit our relatives, I was always excited about the trips that we were encountering. Sadly, as time went on, my father passed away and my mother also passed away. And my family and I barely did any traveling. One day, one of my friends was leaving Botswana and going back to Zambia. And when I asked her what she would miss the most about Botswana, she said, Leah, I have such a huge regret that I've lived in Botswana for so long and have never visited South Africa properly. It was at that moment I realized I don't want to live a life of regret. The following year, I planned for myself and my siblings to travel to Sun City. It was amazing. We had the best of time. And one thing I must say, we created memories. The bug was back inside of me. 2 years later, my siblings and I planned a trip to Cape Town. And guess what? My friend who had traveled back to Zambia, when she heard about our trip, she was like, can I join you guys? I was like, yes, please join us. So she flew all the way from Lusaka and joined us in Cape Town. It was a great week and a half, going to the beaches, climbing Table Mountain. We had an amazing time. Again, made memories. After a year or two, my youngest sister went overseas to Italy for schooling. And we decided, let us go visit her. At the end of the year, packed up our bags. By then, my older brother had married, had 2 kids, but myself, my younger brother, and I flew all the way to Europe to visit my sister. We had an opportunity to go to Belgium, France, and of course, Italy. And in Italy, I had an opportunity to go to Venice and Rome and see the Colosseum. I was excited. I even have a huge picture of myself doing a huge star jump right in front of the Colosseum. I definitely had the travel bug. Even as time, a year or two went by, my younger brother got married. And I thought, I can't travel by myself. But I realized I don't want to live a life of regret. So I've subsequently traveled to Minneapolis to visit one of my friends when she was there for schooling. I got to see snow for the first time. I was so excited. I've been to Namibia, Windhoek, Swakopmund, been on the dunes, and I've also been to Maputo. Very exciting being in a Southern African country where people don't speak English. That was definitely an eye-opener for me. There's a quote I once read that said, would you rather regret the things you did, or would you rather regret the things you didn't do? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, there are many things that we want to do in life, whether it's pursue schooling, or maybe there's something you want to do at your work, pursue your goals. I want to encourage you, don't live a life of regret. Whatever bug that you need to move you forward, I'd like to encourage you to get that bug. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I've got the bug. I haven't been to Sun City, so I need to plan that trip. Thank you, Leah, for that speech. Our next speaker is Tepo. Tepo is being evaluated by Tato. Do we have Tepo on the call? Do we have Tepo on the call?
She's also stuck at work.
It's a busy day today with the load shedding also. Now, the next speaker that we have is Dumelo. Dumelo is our last speaker today, Dumelo Mapalala, who is being evaluated by Hasina. Hasina, welcome to the virtual stage and introduce us to Dumelo Mapalala.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and the esteemed guest. Today, I have a privilege to evaluate our President Tumelo Mapalala. She is doing level 5 and she is on the team collaboration. She has taken an elective topic, Reflect on Your Path. And title of her speech today is The Power of Teamwork. She has to reflect her growth during the completion of an entire path, as she is on the level 5. And the purpose of the speech is for member to share some aspects of her growth during the completion of a path. The member is completing the last speech in her current path, and she may speak on any aspect of the journey completed. The speech could be persuasive, humorous, informational, or crafted in any style that appeal to the member and support the speech content. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Hasina, for the introduction. Dumelo Mapalala, the stage is yours. Take it away.
The date was the 19th of August 2022. Oh my, that feels like yesterday. But that can't be because so much time has passed. And I've heard that time changes you quite a lot. However, I'm now pursued to think differently when I came across the statement by Andy Warhol, who said that they always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. This got me thinking. Good evening, fellow Gaborone Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and guests. Please allow me to take you on a reflection of my journey here at Toastmasters. More specifically, a reflection of my journey on the team collaboration pathway, my very first pathway at Toastmasters. When I joined in August of 2022, I had no idea what a pathway was because honestly, I just wanted to learn how to speak in public. At the time, I was a shadow of myself. I could barely utter a word in a room full of people, let alone ask a question during a meeting. How dare I say, please elaborate when I don't understand something? And so I decided to change things myself by joining Toastmasters. When I joined, I was told I needed to select a pathway. I had no idea what a pathway was. Fortunately, Toastmasters has tools to help you with that. And so I took the quiz on the toastmasters.org website. And of the top 3, the first that came up was team collaboration. I figured, oh well, might as well. I work on a team anyway. And to me, I like the idea of a collaborative leader. Perhaps that's what I needed to get out of my own shell. And so it began. I embarked on the team collaboration pathway. The first level, or level 1, as is universal to all pathways, was the same throughout, and it was exactly what I wanted from Toastmasters. There's the basics of public speaking. I gave my very first speech the very next week after joining. I was excited. I wanted the platform to speak, and so I did. Following that, I learned how to write a speech, give a speech with a purpose. I learned how to incorporate vocal variety and even body language to my speeches, and also got to appreciate evaluation and feedback. That was not something I initially wanted. I wanted to speak, not so much hear what people thought of what I said. But still, with each and every lesson, I grew. I took that to heart and ran with it. Level 2 was interesting, however. It forced me to reflect on the kind of leader I am. And as are the tools at Toastmasters, I took another quiz. And this quiz promptly described me to the T, the kind of leader that I was. That was eye-opening because initially I didn't join Toastmasters to learn leadership. I joined to learn how to speak, but leadership came with the platform. And because I was on this team collaborative pathway, I needed to know what kind of leader I was if I was to build or to become a collaborative leader. Level 3 was different though. Level 3 challenged me immensely. I remember the very first project being collaborate effectively. And this particular project asked that I arrange or I organize a team building exercise. I thought, oh, well, this is the time to show what I'm learning at Toastmasters and apply it to my actual work environment. To give context, I work on a team of 4. At the time, I was the junior most on my team. So imagine the junior saying, guys, we need to do a team building exercise. What is this suggesting of the team? This experience humbled me greatly. I spent 2 months, 2 whole months trying to complete that project. I would set up appointments with my team, even asking that we ensure that we can do this during working hours. I made an entire program where I added games because that's my kind of thing. Games to help us build trust, to help us collaborate, to improve our relationships at work. I thought the program great and I shared it with my supervisor and my team leader at the time. Unfortunately, those two did not take a liking to the idea. The team building exercise never happened. But this is where Toastmasters came in promptly. With Toastmasters, I had also taken up a volunteer role in the way of being secretary at Gaborone Toastmasters Club. And that is where I got to collaborate with my team to perform or to prepare a club success plan for the year. Toastmasters helped me in that regard because it offered the platform I needed to grow as a collaborative leader. And for that, I will always be grateful. When level 4 came, I was a professional. I was breezing through the project. I even gave an elective or participated in an elective where I prepared for an interview and had a special meeting just for me, where I was on a panel and everybody supported me. I got a round robin of responses and evaluations, which I still apply to date. I remember our Toastmaster of the day today, Toastmaster Tabile Seisa, said, "The worst thing they can do is kill you, but they can't." And that has been my approach ever since. I walk into an interview knowing the worst thing they could do is kill me, but they can't do that. That's illegal. I will survive. A lesson of note. I also did an elective where I was to host the question and answer segment. And I got to talk about a peculiar topic, one people were not even expecting. I talked about my favorite food, nothing to do with Toastmasters at all. And trust you, they were shocked to hear that you're not ready either. My favorite food is mopani worms. I know, you didn't see that coming, did you? But the question and answer segment was so detailed, it combined scientific evidence and a whole lot of other aspects to it. Because Toastmasters has given me that. It has given me the confidence to communicate things in an effective manner, which allows for the discourse around them to be as equally organized. Level 5, on the other hand, now came to conclude my entire journey of becoming a collaborative leader. It asks that I lead in any situation alongside other elective projects. This pathway team collaboration has been one that has been pivotal to me. As much as it wasn't accepted in my actual place of work, it has borne fruit or bared fruit in my life. This pathway led me to pursuing my studies. I went on to pursue a master's in project management. And believe you me, I raised my hand in that class and I asked questions where I do not understand. I also got to appreciate my classmates as a team and not just as individuals. Because there we were learning to become project managers. And with every interaction, we said, "Hello, team," or "Good day, team." And that to me instilled the value of teamwork. Moving along, I have since grown in my role at work. I stand here today being what we call a technical officer, well, a senior technical officer, production. And I head up my own lab, the very lab where team collaboration did not seem to meet or to be welcome. And this is only due to the lessons I have learned on this pathway. And in reflection of my entire journey, I've learned 3 major lessons. First and foremost, communication bridges the gap between chaos and clarity. The cornerstone of Toastmasters is based off of public speaking. Everything surrounds effective communication. But the focus is not just on speaking, it's also to listening. Roles such as the Hack Master, such as evaluators, play on this value of active listening. It has taught me to be an active listener even at work, so that I can solve the problems as and when they need to be and engage with my team as is needed. Secondly, I've learned that trust is the glue that holds teams together. Without trust, teams are nothing. And how do you build such trust? You show and you recognize or appreciate the effort of your team members. I have learned the value of saying thank you or well done. Thank you so much for your effort in this here thing. And also to service providers or departments outside of my own, which apply or offer services to me. I say thank you all the time. And in the same breath, I am also reliable to my team so they know I am dependable. Lastly, I have learned that a vision is what guides or is the compass of a team. So teams work together to fulfill a common vision. Just like we did at school while we learned to become project managers and took turns leading the team, the same goes for what I do at work today. I've learned that the common goal is what guides all of us. And with these 3 lessons, I've come to conclude that communicating effectively, trusting your team members, and knowing the common vision is what helps you succeed. It helps you move from just working well to winning together. And this is a lesson or a valuable lesson I've learned through the power of team collaboration. And I am not at all disappointed in the progression of my pathway at Toastmasters. I look forward to learning so much more in the future as I progress. And I have already embarked on a second path, effective coaching, one that will cement or layer on all the lessons I have learned from team collaboration. I thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. That was our last speaker, unless the other speakers managed to connect. It looks like this power cuts. They set us back. We only have 3 speakers out of 8 speakers tonight. And I believe, Leah, the poll was for 8 people. Are we still gonna go on with the 3? Or we can forgo that and spend most of the time with the hack master session.
Yeah, we can
While
forgo
our
that.
hack.
But maybe we
Okay,
can have
alright.
maybe we can have table topics.
Okay. Who would want to be our table topics?
I'll run the segment. Tumelo.
Wow, that was quick. All right. Yes, let's utilize the time for that, and we are still well within the time. Let's do the table topics. So a timer, the table topics time is 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes, not 3 minutes, it's 2 minutes. At 1 minute, then you raise the green flag. The 1 and 30 seconds, that will be the yellow, and at 2 minutes, that will be the red. Tumelo, you can go on with the session. We'll take the timers report after the sessions for the table topics. Go ahead, Tumelo.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. Our next segment is the table topics segment, and I'll be your table topics master. So as table topics master, I will ask that we have a few volunteers who would like to challenge themselves. And to give it away, the theme is already the power of storytelling. So you can imagine the kind of questions I will be asking. Are there any takers for table topics? I see one I'd like to pick on. I don't know if he's ready. Nzamo, table topic number 1.
Let me do it. Yep.
Are you
Let's
ready?
do it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I didn't do my facial, so I won't be on the video.
That's okay. So,
Thank you.
yes. Once upon a time in my life. Once upon a time in my life. Begin your response like a classic story and take us on a journey through a personal experience.
Table topic master and table topic. Sorry, man, I'm driving. and fellow Toastmasters. Once upon a time in my life, my dad told me not to play with those homemade gold cards. Ingola in isiZulu, or you can call it some sort of a gold cut. I don't know what you call it on your side, or what do everyone else call it. But we were told that it was a dangerous mode of transport. Well, for us, it was for leisure. And we were told that we're going to get injured. And guess what? Just because we could, while my dad was away on business, we decided that we were going to join the other boys and play with homemade gold cuts. And oh my word, that was the day I met with the scar on my face. We got so injured, even in the clinic, they thought that we were in a car accident. And I couldn't even start school that year because I was a mummy of some kind, because I had bandages around my face. You could only see my eyes. If only I listened and I took an advice from my wise father, I wouldn't have this scar on my face. But I wouldn't be telling this story if I didn't experience that. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a lesson and an injury. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mzamo, for that submission. And indeed, had you listened, you would not have that scar. Mzamo was our Toastmaster of the evening last week, if you missed out on that. Any takers for the next table topic? Guests, you are allowed to participate in table topics. It's an open forum. Yes, I see. Toastmaster Hasina Amdani has raised her hand. Hasina, please come on the virtual stage and I'll give you the next table topic. Yes. Yes,
Am I
Hasina.
getting-
Yes. What childhood story, book, or folk tale influenced you the most, and what lesson did you take from it? What childhood story, book, or folk tale influenced you the most, and what lesson did you take from it? Take it away.
Okay, my childhood story was about a mystical hero who was not like a Spider-Man, but he was as magician as the Spider-Man can solve all your problems. He can jump around, he can do impossible things. So at that time it was called Tenali Ram, who will cling to the tree and play different, uh, sometimes hide and seek, sometimes they will, the people sitting under the tree, they can throw the fruits on that and then he will hide. And but by doing all those things, he will show some logical ways, also some problem solving things, ideas. And his emotions, his his magic, his creativity, it was very, very captivating to me. And by this childhood story, I had an idea to become a detective or something law, a field, a profession where I can do the debate or logical things. I can find something hidden or treasure hunt. Some of those career I wanted to choose, but somehow in between this medical thing also came in my mind. My father always used to tell me, I want you to become a doctor, I want you to become a doctor. And after that, I saw a stage drama in which a girl married to a doctor because she was a doctor. Otherwise, she would not have, that doctor would not have married her. So somehow I had, oh, I also want to marry a doctor. So somehow I changed the path. But even now, if you ask me if I would not be a doctor, what could you be? So I would be a detective or a lawyer. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hasina.
Yeah, muted, Tumelo.
Oh, sorry. I was going on and on. I said, thank you, Hasina, for that submission. And I'd just like to say, in a way, you're already a detective because we tell doctors all these mysterious illnesses and they need to figure out what it is. So you're still serving your purpose. And next, Toastmaster Carla, would you like to take up a table topic?
Thank you.
Yes. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
If your life were a book or a movie, who would be the hero and what would be the greatest challenge? If your life were a book or a movie, who would be the hero and what would be the greatest challenge? Toastmaster Carla.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. The book that I would choose is to write my own story, sharing my experiences that I would have endured throughout my life, from childhood to adolescent to young adult. And on my journey of this book, I would share life lessons. The first lesson that I would share is to ensure that you have an education. The second lesson that I would share is that on your journey, there are many challenges and obstacles that may come your way. What is important is that you stand your ground and always ensure that you ask for help. We all need help in this present time. The third thing I would share in my book is that getting to 100 pages, it wasn't easy. I had to rewrite and rewrite until it was finally in the right order. And this is exactly how our lives are on a daily basis. We go through a process of good to bad to great. And oftentimes we share the success stories of our lives and we keep that part of our lives that is not wanted for the public ear. I want to encourage you that any book that you are writing, to write your life experience, because people are going to read your book for your experience. Like in Toastmasters, when we introduce ourselves, when we do a speech, we share personal stories to enhance the presentation. And in closing, I will leave my final remarks by saying, in my book that I'm currently writing, I share the story of my son, Ezekiel, who was hit by a driver that jumped the traffic light and left Ezekiel hospitalized for almost 1 year. Today, Ezekiel is a success story because prayer and the support of my friends and family members and Toastmasters by extension was able to help us pull through the difficult time. So write that book, share your story. The world is waiting to be inspired by your journey. Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Carla. And indeed, I'd buy that book. It sounds like a book that we all need to read because it gives valuable life lessons. And I picked up that I too need to start writing my own book, but I'll work on it. Thank you so much. I had another volunteer take up a table topic. Balisa, please come to the virtual stage for your table topic. Are you ready, Balisa?
Good evening. Yes, I am ready.
Evening once again, Balisa. Share a story, real or fictional, that had a significant impact on your perspective or your decisions. Share a story, real or fictional, that had a significant impact on your perspective or decisions, essentially changed your narrative of life. Over to you, Balisa.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. A story that, wow, that's a difficult question. Okay, real or fiction? A story that changed my narrative. I vividly remember a time when I was unemployed. And during this time, I had decided to start what we call a side business. And this side business was a nail tech. I decided to do nails. And in the beginning of this journey, because it was an unconventional route, different from the corporate 8 to 5 or usual work that somebody would do, I remember feeling slightly ashamed. However, I remember engaging with somebody that I really admired, and that was my father. My father applauded me, rather congratulated me for taking such a huge leap of faith, which was surprising to me because he is someone who has always had an 8 to 5. He climbed the corporate ladder from officer role all the way to executive role in the organization that he worked at. So I vividly remember having an in-depth conversation with my father about my choice of career. And he had come down to my level. I understood that he was a strict man. My father was very strict. But I guess over the years, he became calmer and softer. And he advised me not to overthink it. He told me that I was better off doing something or to guide me with anything. The fact I had taken the leap of faith to try something that was unconventional was inspiring to him as well. I never think he never had the courage to try and do something out of his comfort zone. And because of that interaction, I realized that I really should not care what other people say about the choices that I make in my life. And to be honest, during that time, that was the happiest I had ever been. I was elated every morning to go and do something that I had grown passion for. Doing nails opened up the creative side of me, which I didn't think I had. I remember one time I was doing nail art on a friend who could not draw. So one day, impressed that just in your life can either to choose the positivity of my actions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Palesa, for that submission. And indeed, sometimes the road you never thought you'd go down teaches you the greatest of lessons. I have one table topic left. I'd like to challenge someone, a guest, please. Ahang, would you like to take up the table topic? Hi, Ahang. No, Ahang. Happiness, would you like to take up a table topic?
Let's do it.
Okay, great. That's my very last one. In your opinion, what is the greatest story ever told, and why does it resonate with so many people? In your opinion, what is the greatest story ever told, and why does it resonate with so many people? Over to you, Happiness.
The greatest story ever told is the story of persistence and the story of not giving up. A lot of us, we give up in the 11th hour when you're about to make a breakthrough. I remember back in the days also, I was a young graduate, full of energy and enthusiasm, looking for a job, and I couldn't find a job. It was only when I started volunteering after 3 years that somebody recognized me, and that opened so many doors for me. So this story of persistence is the story that we hear all the time when people have temporary defeats. They just give up. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, giving up is not an option. And remember that when we are faced with difficulties, there is hope. Back to you, table master of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Happiness. And indeed, I can agree, giving up is never an option. Imagine if I gave up when my team said they didn't want to do my fun team building activity, and I had even bought them snacks. Imagine had I given up at that time. Clearly, there was more in store for me. So that brings us to the end of our table topics segment. I'd like to hand the reins back to our Toastmaster of the day, Rethabile. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Madam Table Topic Master, wearing so many hats today. We'll get the report from the timers report, then we'll quickly go into the Hackmaster session for about 5 minutes there. Timers report, prepared speeches, and table topics speeches, timers report. Your time, timer. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rathabile. Good evening, everybody. This is the timekeeper's report. It's actually quite interesting because I'm in this position because the last time Ms. Hasina was speaking, said something about timekeepers, and it's kind of like ringing in my head, and I find it so funny that I was laughing out loud that day, and today I'm in this position. Right, so I am going to start off by giving feedback on the time on table topics. So each table topic participant was allowed to speak for 2 minutes. Toastmaster Ndamo spoke for 1 minute 55 seconds, and table master Ms. Hasina spoke for 2 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Ms. Carla spoke for 2 minutes 58 seconds. Toastmaster Ms. Balesa spoke for 3 minutes 57 seconds. And Toastmaster Ms. Happiness spoke for 1 minute and 32 seconds. Now moving on to the speeches. The first speaker that spoke, I believe that's Ms. Unkemetse. spoke for 3 minutes, 18 seconds. And then we have Toastmaster Miss Leah, who spoke for 5 minutes and 54 seconds. And the last speaker, Miss Dumelo, spoke for 12 minutes, 19 seconds.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bontle, for the timekeeper's report. Now we'll get the chance now to be challenged. The Hackmaster will check whether we've been listening for the first session of the meeting. Hackmaster, the floor is yours. We have 5 minutes to do the session. Hackmaster?
Thank you very much, Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, of the evening. Yes. Are you guys ready? Are you all ready?
Yes.
Are you all excited?
Yes.
The first question great. The first question that we have is, what was the title for the first speaker on Gemete? What was the title for
Resilience.
Resilience in the midst of hardship.
Yes, resilience in the midst of hardship. What role did Unkemezi do when he first joined his company?
Relationship Client experience head.
Yes, making meetings with the senior corporate. Yes. What value did Unkemezi appreciate?
Being resilient.
What values did sorry?
Being resilient.
Yes. No matter how hard,
Don't
do not
give
up. Yes.
Don't give up.
That's resilience in short.
Yeah.
Which year did Unkemezi start school?
1999.
97.
Yeah. 1997.
This week.
Very interesting. Which sport did she join at school?
Karate.
Yes, karate. Yes, correct. So what was her last role at karate?
Doing planks.
What was her last role? Anyone again? Any try?
Jogging.
Blocking. Blocking. So in her conclusion, what was her word of encouragement?
Don't give up.
Yes, no matter how hard
Don't give
situation
up.
is, never give up, never give up, never give up. The next second speaker was Miss Leah. What was the title for Leah's speech?
Power back.
Travel bag. Yes, correct. How many siblings did Leah have?
5.
4.
5 with her. Yes. Where did Leah have to go with her family? The first family trips.
Mafike.
Mafike, yes. Oh, at the beginning of Leah's speech, what did she enjoy in her life?
The trips to go and buy clothes.
Traveling?
Traveling, yes, traveling. Yes, and she
Yeah.
enjoyed, she learned that she enjoyed traveling out of those Mafican trips with the family. In Leah's speech, her friend was leaving from Botswana going to where?
Zambia.
Zambia.
Yes, Zambia. And what did Leah's friend say that she will regret when going to Zambia?
Not having gone to
Not-
SA.
Not
So,
Yeah.
having gone to SA.
Good. That's true. That's true. After Leah's parents passed away, where did Leah and her siblings create memories at? What place did Leah create memories at?
Sun City.
Sun City.
And Cape Town.
No, that's too fast. Sun City. And then after 2 years, where did Leah travel? After 2 years? Yes.
Cape Town.
Well done. What did Leah do in Cape Town and with her siblings? What activities did they do?
Go to the beach.
They went to the beach and Table Mountain.
Yes, correct. Leah took on Europe. Leah took a trip to Europe. To Europe. So, what places did they visit in Europe?
Rome.
Colosseum.
Venice.
3 places. 3 places.
France.
Yes, Belgium.
Venice.
2
Italy.
more. Yes, Italy.
Rome.
1 more. 1 last one.
Rome.
France.
What is in Italy? Oh,
And
it's
France.
Oh,
Belgium,
okay.
Italy,
And
and
France.
yes,
France.
Leah. In France. So in Italy, there are 2 places that Leah went. What are those 2 places that Leah went in
Venice.
Italy?
Venice and Rome.
Colosseum.
Venice.
Oh,
And Rome.
In Rome, correct. Venice and Rome. Well done. And then Leah, there's a question about where did Leah see snow?
In Minneapolis, New York.
America. America.
New York.
Is it Tennessee? I don't remember.
Minneapolis.
Tennessee. Okay.
Leah, where did you see snow?
Minneapolis.
Yes, Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Then Leah traveled to Maputo. What did she find interesting in Maputo?
They don't speak English.
So they don't speak English.
Yes, correct. In Namibia, where did Leah visit? The places in Namibia?
Dunes.
Yes. The compound and Windhoek. What was in conclusion, Leah said a summary or a life lesson. What was it?
Don't stop having fun or traveling.
What would you like to regret?
Oh,
Yes, that one.
yes, you must live a life without regret.
Yes.
Would you like to regret the thing you did, or rather, would
Did
you
you?
like? Yes, that one.
Oh,
Things you
okay.
didn't do.
Yes. And into Timelo's speech, what was the title of Timelo's speech? What was the title of Timelo's speech?
The power of
teamwork. The power of teamwork.
Yes, the power of teamwork. When did Timelo join Toastmasters?
2022.
2022.
The full date.
2022.
Date and month.
19th August 2022.
Yes, 19th August 2022. They said what is the first pathway that Tumelo took? The first pathway?
Team collaboration.
Yes. Team collaboration. Oh, what is the Toastmaster website that Tumelo mentioned?
Toastmasters
Website
website,
of Toastmasters.
www Toastmasters International.
Nope.
.org.
Yes, .org. Yes. From level 1 that Tumelo took on the pathway, what did she learn? Basics of public speaking. Yes. And then when did Tumelo start her first speech after joining Toastmasters?
A week
following week.
later.
Yeah, 1 week later. And which level did Tumelo find it challenging mostly? Or immensely, like she said, immensely.
Level 3.
Level 4.
Yes, level 3. Good. What voluntary role did Tumelo take upon joining Toastmasters?
As secretary.
Secretary.
Yes, secretary, correct. Which level from the pathway that Tumelo did she excel more?
Level 4.
Level 4.
Oh.
I guess now it's time up. The timer is saying it's time up. So the last question is what is Tumelo's favorite food?
Mopani.
Mopani worms.
Honey
Well,
worms.
yes, let's clap hands for all of us. You did well. Well done. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Tapio, Toastmasters, and our guests. Now it's the time for a better listening skills. This is where we do our evaluation. Now I will hand over to Madam General Evaluator to take over this session. Madam General Evaluator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tabile, our lovely Toastmaster of the day. I will be taking over this next session, which is that of evaluations. I will start by giving the evaluators the opportunity to give feedback to the various speakers. And then from there, I will call on the different role players to give their reports. And finally, I will move on to the general evaluation where I will evaluate the meeting in its entirety. So without further ado, we will begin with the first evaluator, who is Blessing. Blessing, Ilya, is Blessing on the call?
No, I evaluated Onkameti.
Okay, lovely. Yeah. Okay, thank you for taking up that role. Leah will be evaluating, will be giving Unkemet's evaluation this evening. Leah, please take it away.
Thank you so much for that, Madam General Evaluator. And for Unkameti, as this was an icebreaker speech, I'd just first like to request for everyone to unmute themselves and let's give Unkameti a big round of applause for presenting her first speech. Woo, 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 woo! Yeah. Woo, 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 woo. I learned something this past week, and people will be going so well done, well done, Unkameti. for presenting your first speech. In Toastmasters, there's always that quote that says, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, and people are always afraid to take that first step. So well done in taking that first step. And what can I say about your speech? As you clearly summed it up, don't give up, be resilient, never give up. So there were certain things I liked about your speech. Obviously, when you presented your speech, you were clear. You had certain quotes that you were sharing with us in terms of phrases that you were emphasizing. You told us a little bit about your work experience, and then you went and told us about another experience that gave you those words of being resilient and never giving up, which is you participating in karate and the life lessons that you learned there that you have then used as you have continued on in your journey. So we got to have a short glimpse of who you are. So that's a great introduction of you to us, your club members. So in terms of what I saw that maybe you might want to work on. So your speech length was supposed to be 4 to 6 minutes, and you spoke for 3 minutes 18 seconds. So it clearly means that you still had a lot of time to share even more about yourself. One thing we should always try to do when we're presenting a speech is to ensure that we speak at least in the minimum time, because I'm sure there's always more that you can share with us. So just be mindful of the time and just ensure that you do at least speak in the minimum required time. I know your next speech will be 5 to 7 minutes, so it's slightly longer. So how do we ensure we speak within the required time? By just infusing more content into the speech. So you shared with us about you being the client experience head. You could have told us a little bit more about how you even got into that role, how you maybe chose your career. You shared with us about your experience in high school doing karate. You could have shared with us what motivated you to want to take on that particular sport. I would just be afraid of people hitting me. I know that you don't actually hit people, but it seems a little bit violent. But you could have shared with us maybe just a little bit more of how you actually got into that particular sport. What drove you to want to take it up? And whether you have even continued doing that. That's how you add more content to your speech to ensure that you do speak for a much longer period, i.e. the required time that you need for a speech. Other than that, like I said, great first speech that you have presented, sharing a little bit about yourself and your journey. And I liked the fact that you gave us a call to order, telling us to never give up. So well done once again on your first speech, and looking forward to seeing you speak in your next speech. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leah. The next evaluator is myself. I'm wearing 2 hats today. I had the privilege and honor of evaluating Leah Musunga. Right. So the speech objective for Leah this evening was to introduce herself to the club, number 1, and learn the basic structure of a speech. Let me start with the second point. I believe that you had quite an unfair advantage because you've given multiple icebreakers. So you ran through this one. It was perfect. You were able to show us that you know the basic structure of a speech, from your captivating introduction all the way to your body and straight through to your conclusion. It was a well-structured speech. Secondly, introducing yourself to the club. This was done immaculately. I mean, for the guests in the audience who do not know who Leah Musunga is, they now know that Leah Musunga loves to travel. She loves to explore, she doesn't want to live a life of regret. In the beginning of your speech, you were able to tell us about your family dynamic, how many siblings you have, your parents. In the beginning, we now know your family structure from when you were a child and how it is currently. So you did the storytelling very well. The second thing that I appreciate about how you introduced yourself was the way in which you told the story. Like I said, you gave us information on your family dynamic. You told us how you came to become this travel bug, right? From its inception all the way to why you love to travel why you love to travel right now. So it was very clear where your love for travel stemmed from. Okay. Although you've given multiple speeches and I found it really difficult to look for areas of improvement, I would like to say, for the benefit of the guests, I would have loved to hear something else about you. Yes, we know Leah is a travel bug, but for somebody else who would want to tell us, oh no, I heard this speech about Leah today. Leah is, what else can they say about Leah Musunga? It would have been nice for you to probably expand on that. However, I enjoyed the speech. The storytelling was great. You stuck to the theme, and I look forward to hearing your next speech. Thank you very much, Leah. I enjoyed the speech. Thanks. I'm back. All right, so that was the evaluation of Leah. We have the next evaluator, who is Hasina. Hasina will be evaluating Tumelo Maphalala. Hasina, please join me on the virtual stage to give us the evaluation.
Good evening again. So today I had the privilege to evaluate Tumelo Maphalala. Her quote that time doesn't change you, you change the time. It immediately dragged me to her narrative, from her story of fear, challenges to the victory. She weaved it very nicely, and she has told us that she had fear of speaking, fear of asking questions, and the end she again closed it that I mastered the action, I mastered the skill of asking question when she was doing the round robin question things. She has also told us her 3 takeaways, 3 lessons of communication to glue the chaos and the clarity, to develop the trust and to have a vision. And as she narrated her story, we could visualize how she is growing her self growth. She had a mindset of growth, and she not only told us about the Toastmaster journey, she linked it to her personal career growth also. I loved that part. And at the end, she told us also her future vision of effective coaching, to continue with the effective coaching. She was confident, she was excited, she has shown her good hand gestures. She was, she has, when she said, oh, well, she showed her confidence that, okay, I can do this team building exercise. It is good. She used some phrases like, at the worst, it can kill you and it can't kill you. And that gave her confidence. So we could see on her face. Saying all these things, I have noticed few things which she could challenge herself. when she was disappointed, when her boss said he didn't show interest in doing the team building at the work, at that time maybe she could have used some vivid words so that we could have visualized how she felt at that time. The second thing I noted is that she, in between, there was subtle disruption when she was looking probably at her papers or she was looking down. She lost that connectivity with the audience. Uh, and the third thing, at the end she could have given for the speaker also something to take away, like how we should get inspiration, how should we travel this difficult journey. So like for call for action, she has used it, but at the end again she could have done it profoundly by using a quote or some more effective more effective way. And one thing I would have suggest her to challenge herself to yeah, in between her hands were not, it was not corresponding with the what she was saying. It was like just doing some unintentional movement. And also she should have done some forward movement or something. When she was happy she could have shown her power, her confidence. And when she was disappointed little bit, she could have used little bit of the stage. She always does, maybe probably it is virtual so she has restricted herself. But overall I loved her inspirational stories, and I believe the room also must have learned a lot from her and inspired to go ahead. Thank you to Melo. Thank you for taking us for such a good story of your success. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hasina, for that detailed evaluation. Those were the only evaluators we had this evening. I'd like to thank Leah and Hasina and myself for the evaluations. Next up, we have the role players this evening. I will give the timer and then the grammarian and the Ein counter an opportunity to give us their reports before I give the final evaluation of the meeting as a whole. So I would like to call up our timer for the day. Buntle, are you ready with your timer's report?
Thank you so much, Miss Toastmaster. This was a challenge for me and quite interesting. And can I just say how much I love the way Toastmasters is changing the narrative that good speakers are born. I mean, I wasn't born a good speaker, but I'm here to learn because of Toastmasters. So big up to Toastmasters for changing the narrative that good speakers are born. Good speakers can be made, and we are doing exactly that. So the time that our evaluators took, I'm going to start with Toastmaster Miss Leah. She spoke for a good 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Miss Toastmaster Palesa spoke for 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Toastmaster Miss Hasina spoke for 4 minutes, 27 seconds. And yeah, that is all from the time I got from our evaluators this evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Buntle. And you are absolutely right. Toastmasters has also taught me that you can learn to be a great speaker. It just takes time and effort and determination as well. Especially because here at Toastmasters, we believe that feedback is the breakfast of all champions. So this segment for the evaluators is quite an important one. And thank you, to yourself for playing a pivotal role in gauging our time as well. All right, the next role player is the grammarian. Do we have the grammarian in the room to give their report?
It looks like he dropped off the call.
Is it? Okay. We can just move on to the next role player. Hopefully he'll come back before we complete this section. The next role player is the R and counter, who is looking out for our filler words, the use of so. I know I'm guilty of using so as my filler word. Let's see if I did use it this time around. Lebo, are you available to give us the report?
Yes, thank you, Madam Evaluator. Please allow me to just read from my notes. Just a reminder that I'm going to report on crutch and the use of filler words. And a huge congratulations to all the speakers, table topic participants and evaluators. I'm going to report on anybody who used crutch or filler words. I just used while speaking, but yeah, just to start from the beginning, from the speeches, Unkemetsi, who was giving her icebreaker speech, used and a couple of instances of and a few instances of using repeats. Hasina, again, I think she was giving the objective for the person she'll be evaluating, a few instances of are used there. Only one instance, from Dimelo's inspirational speech about teamwork of a repeat. It was just I. And then Mzamo, I think he was settling in. He did say he was driving, but there was a few use of the words there, but he did mention that he was driving at the time, and I do understand table topics expect you to talk on the spot, so understandable. And then Balisa, you didn't use so, but you did use yeah. So yeah, in this instance, just a small case of using So because it says anybody who speaks, I will throw in our role player, our timekeeper, a few instances of using are and there. And then on the evaluations, just a couple of use of and by Alisa and Hasina. I'll read the report and thank you. Over to you, Madam Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lebo. I did put forward a disclaimer that my filler word is, I think, it, and not run away from it. It's something that I'm very much aware of. However, I will work on it. Right. So we have come to the last part of the evaluation segment, which is my evaluation for this meeting. Let me begin with, the start time of the meeting, right? The meeting was scheduled to begin at 6 o'clock. We started our meeting at 2 minutes past 6. And although I do understand the slight delay, maybe next time it would be best to just start on time, because at Toastmasters, we do have a timer for a reason. So it's important that we stick to the time allocated to the meeting so we can start on time and end on time. I appreciated the Zoom etiquette and club mission at the beginning of the meeting. This is once again for the benefit of our guests and visiting Toastmasters, because we are aware that different clubs have a different way of doing things, right? So I appreciated the fact that Toastmaster Leah put up the Zoom etiquette for anyone that needed to know about data privacy and recording and such. and our Gaborone Toastmasters club mission, right? And then the next thing I appreciated was the willingness of our members or even guests to take up roles. That was commendable. I think this also speaks to the fact that all the roles were filled this evening. Usually when the agenda is sent out, I've noticed that there's usually a few spots that are not filled and we fill them during the meeting. However, this time around we were able to fill all the meeting roles. And although some were unable to make it, it just shows the commitment that they initially had to take up the roles. So I'd just like to commend the team, the SAA, the Vice President of Membership, the executive team basically for ensuring that all roles are filled. I also loved how we improvised during the meeting, right? Because there weren't enough speakers, we were able to then divert that attention to the table topics, which I believe is an important segment at Toastmasters, which teaches us to speak off the cuff. So I love the fact that we were able to include it in our meeting today. In terms of things to improve, it would just be to start on time, number one, and maybe just to say if there are any role players that are unavailable, instead of trying to figure it out online. My understanding is there's a group, so maybe if we could just do that background organization behind the scenes so we don't look a bit all over the place during the meeting, that would be best. However, I enjoyed the meeting. It's my first time taking up the general evaluator role, which I was nervous to do. However, I'm glad I took up the role, and the narratives that we received this evening were absolutely great. And as the president this evening said, storytelling is the heartbeat of human connection, and I believe we were connected today with the stories that were told. Yeah, that's my evaluation for the meeting. Thank you very much. I will then hand over to, I think it's the Toastmaster of the day, if I'm not mistaken, or President.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. I think this is when we close off the program. Unfortunately, we don't have rewards and recognitions, but we do have announcements. As part of our announcements, I'd like to encourage all our members to renew their membership. Club membership is due, and this is our last week, so please renew before you're cut off the platform and we have to restore you, which is all sorts of other problems. But I see some people have renewed already. If you haven't, head to that website I mentioned, www.toastmasters.org. The club is self-pay enabled, meaning you can pay for yourself. But if you are having struggles, contact either myself or Leah will help you with that. On another note, our next meeting, we're going back to our schedule, right, Leah, of having two, well, we'll announce, but I guess our next meeting is not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that. I hope that's correct. I'm just confusing the dates. I don't see it on the program. But, oh, Leah says no. Yes, Leah, we're having a meeting next week.
Yes, our club is turning 33. It's our 33rd anniversary on the
I forgot about that. Okay, thank you so much, Leah. So if you are not aware, Gaborone Toastmasters is the first Toastmasters club in Botswana, and it was founded in 1992, meaning we're turning 33 years. Therefore, we will be celebrating next week. We will announce on our social media platforms as we usually do, and all information will be available on there. So other than that, Leah, are there any other announcements? Yes, we have our district, area, and division contest. Sorry. So we're continuing the speech contest. Remember, we had our club contest and we had our winners who will be going to represent us at the area, and the area contest will happen on the same day as the division contest. So that's on the 5th of April, not this weekend, but the next weekend at University of Botswana. We'll also share the details in our group. Apart from that, I'd like to encourage our guests to stay on the call and give me some feedback. Please switch on your cameras for a group photo before I close the meeting. Someone just joined us right now, but yeah, group photo, please, for our thumbnail. If you haven't already, follow us on YouTube. You can watch our speeches. We post our speeches on there, and we also show our meetings live on there. I think you saw the notification that said we are sharing to a third party. That party was YouTube. So please pose for the picture. Cameras, cameras, cameras. Cameras, Hasina. Cameras, Kala, Ahang camera, Timani camera, Happiness camera. Please, 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 please. We don't want a thumbnail with black spots. Yes, thank you so much. Leah, are you ready?
I know you, that's sorry, I'm ready now. Big smiles.
Yay!
All right.
Yes, thank you so much, Leah, for that. But as we wrap up this incredible meeting, one thing is clear. Stories are more than just words. They're the bridges that connect us. So tonight, we have seen firsthand how storytelling can persuade, entertain, and inspire, whether through speeches, impromptu moments, or even evaluations. We have witnessed the magic that happens when we dare to share our experiences and our perspectives, or even our narratives. Let's carry this energy beyond the meeting. Let's continue to tell our stories with confidence, to listen with intent, and to embrace the power of storytelling in our daily lives. Thank you all for your participation, and until we meet again, keep sharing those stories. They have a power to change the world. Good night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.